Gather around, children. Gather around.
Oh, yes, boss.
You don't have to. You can go sit in the
child anymore.
You can go sit in the corner for all I care. You don't have to learn anything. All right. I know we have a lot of people here tonight, but so just do your best to wear your deodorant. I don't know.
Too late for that.
We bring an extra stick over in the closet just for this exact reason.
Communal deodorant?
The communal deodorant. All right, so for the people at home who are watching this on the poor YouTube, hello. But second, what we're doing tonight is we've set up 10 problems, or positions, not really problems, they're positions, that occur in professional games very frequently. Most of these occur hundreds of times within the Wall Theory Pro database, which is, I think, 70,000 pro games or so. I know 100 or hundreds out of 70,000 doesn't sound like much, but when we're talking about a Go game that has, literally quintillion billion variations, it's actually a lot, right? That makes it really common, right? If it occurs a couple hundred times within a database of 70,000. So all these positions are very common professional opening positions, number one. And number two, the place at where all these games are paused, the next move is also very, very much agreed upon among those hundreds of variations or among those hundreds of games. And I think the rules I tried to set for myself in my little searching was that the next move had to be agreed upon for at least 50% of the next moves. All the professionals agreed what the next move was. And that, again, doesn't sound like a lot, but again, when you're talking about a game with 354 possible moves, when 50% of people agree what the next one of them is, that's statistically significant. Most of them are higher than 50%. Some get into like the 70, 80. I think there's one 99% move. Maybe there's two 99. I know there's at least one 99% move because I know exactly which board it is right now. Most of them are very statistically significant. And the second most popular move was, I think I capped it about 25%, although most were well below 20%. So meaning that most of these boards had like one move that was like 60 to 70% the favorite among hundreds of professionals, and the next best move was only played by like 10% of them. Okay, so I think that's pretty. Those are the rules. That's like the type of level we're looking at. Now, why are we doing this? Because number one, I want you guys to familiarize yourself with some of the most common Go positions. Right, none of these should look foreign to your eye. Right, if any of these positions look really foreign to you as a Go player, you haven't played enough games. Yeah. Number one, okay, you just haven't played enough Go.
I haven't played enough games with advanced players.
Well, yeah, with strong enough players that obey like nice opening theory. Yeah, if your opening move is here and your opponent's is here, you need some better friends. Let's just be honest.
So if you played in real life and not on the internet.
Kinda, but most of the people who are in this class, you guys have been playing enough games. Most of the people on the internet, have seen enough of these videos, right? So they have a general flow of what a game should look like. So again, we're going to use statistics and math to look at some of these most common positions and see what the professionals agree upon. Now, disclaimer, just because the professionals believe something to be orthodox on each of these boards doesn't mean like that's the correct move in like the history of the universe, right? Someday, like God might appear and he might go, "Hey guys, you left out this move. This was actually the move that wins the game, right? White can never recover." And he might share this information with us. Or AlphaGo comes down from the circuits and anthropomorphizes.
I think this game is actually the opening of an AlphaGo game.
I haven't checked that, but it's possible. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to go back and double check.
That's the 1% that was.
Yeah.
I think this is game 2.
It looks similar, but okay. So anyway, on this half of the table side of the room, we'll do black to play first. The other half of the room is white to play first. Show me what you got. Let's look at problem number 1. This is black to play. What do you think black should do?
Protect that on the your upper left.
Oh, your eye is drawn to this cut, huh?
Yes.
And so John wants to protect it. How do you want to protect it?
Solidly.
Solidly? You want to play here?
Or
That's what
Or
I
you could play here. Are there any other ways to protect this cut?
play just opposite.
So other moves in this, if you guys don't know, like other ways to protect this cut, you can play here sometimes, especially if making shape. This is also actually a fairly common, this one, and actually this one's even more common. When black is more concerned about this side of the board and just wants to throw a few stones over here to reduce, this is also very common. Neither of these situations apply. This is too early in the game to be making like special, like loose, kind of moves for special strategy. I'm going to tell you, protecting this cut is actually what I think 80% of the pro games in the database do not protect the cut.
So it's like premature.
It's premature. And the reason, so let's look at what happens when we protect the cut. If we play here, white will play here. And now black has a new problem. What's the new problem for black?
You don't have a base.
Make a base.
We have to make a base, right? We have 3 stones here. So how do you make a base? So here would be like the conservative way, right?
Start point.
Well, this would be the optimistic way.
Or you could approach.
Well, if we approach,
And you're not making
now what happens? Okay, so for some of the beginners might not understand what's going on, right? But for the more advanced people, you can sort of see like actually the next move for black is really hard. Because if you play a move like this, where's white going to go?
Start attacking you.
Yes, immediately. White will go here, immediately. And say, hey, remember that base? Remember how you're making stuff in there? If you don't play there again, I'm going to come in here, any of these moves, and start eating away at what you just tried to build, like immediately. So we don't really want to play this. Likewise, if we play this, it's safer, but it feels like we've built a lot of thickness, like it feels like we should be optimistic here. And so number one, this feels conservative. And number two, later on, white can easily reduce like this, or just play really safe. And we have this very like thick, strong shape, but how do we expand from it with these white formations? Like there isn't a good way to make it any bigger. So this is kind of like a really uninteresting part of the board right now. And we've invested 4 stones there. So, and if we say, hey, this is really like big and strong and optimistic, and I want to build it into something, we can hope that white backs off, and then boom, doesn't that look nice? That's a nice looking formation.
What was the chances?
But what are the chances that white is a little,
White can't read one move.
yeah, we'll say, what are the chances are that white's a little bitch and just takes it and just lets you get all this, right? So
Depends on how much you paid white.
it's not that kind of game. So this is the problem, right? And all professional players, right, look at this and go, well, duh, I don't know where my next move is. So they have to ask. They have to say, hey, what kind of shape should I be making here? And so they put
This
here.
is gone, right?
That is gone, sorry, yes. And so they ask white, hey, I don't know how far I'm going to get to extend from this thing, so I'm going to play over here first and see what you do in this corner, and then that'll determine what kind of base I make over here. And this is like this is like single digit Don level, professional level Q thinking. Professional level Q? No, professional level Don thinking. Right, this is a step beyond the double digit Q world, but I put it here as the first problem because this is such like a famous example that is just everybody knows who's better than you. This is the move. This is the move. And if we follow this game, again, this is like an 80% move, somewhere in, I forget exactly the percentage, 70 or 80%, something like this. White normally plays here. And instead of black connecting this way in this shape, black actually connects this way. And it still almost always induces white to play here. And now black will play here. And so this is sort of, the other, compared to the other options, we don't want to play high because what are we going to build? Like, we're already undercut. This one's no good. If we play here and play low, white's already reduced us this way. It's going to reduce us again this way. But if we extend again, it's like we've taken an extra 3 points for ourselves. We know we can't build it any further, so we just want to play as fast and almost as thin as possible, as efficient. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Because we know white's already play conservative.
So doing that one move there, not solid, but
Tiger's mouth?
that brings it a little bit closer to where the other stone's going to go.
Yeah.
So
Because
effectively,
Because we're already looking at this as like dead territory. Like no one, this is not interesting territory, right? However, we care if white gets really close to us because that creates lots of weaknesses. So if we're just going to make dead territory in here, we want to take as much of it as possible, right? So we get one more line of this dead, quote unquote, territory this way. And this is why we ask first, so we know what shape to make. Again, high-level concept, but super common position.
So if at this point white decides to pincer in that lower black.
Yeah, absolutely,
just
but-
run out.
Yeah, I think white's next most common move is actually over here. I'll have to actually look this up to make sure. I could very well be wrong, and maybe, hey, people on YouTube, go look this up and tell me what the next common move is, but I think it's here. Okay? Sweet. Next board. Here, actually, I'm gonna move this chair out of the way. If you guys wanna grab that. We have some light glare on the board. Okay, 6 moves, 7th move of the game, black to play. First, what has black built over here?
They're Chinese.
It's called low Chinese formation. It's actually come back into style again, which is neat. Black has played white, has played Ni Rensei, right? 2 star points, and then approached the outside of this low Chinese formation. So black, what are you gonna do?
Complete the low Chinese.
Complete, it's already completed.
Well, there's got the other move that they usually make to create the.
What's on here? What's, oh, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's, well, we can, but you know what white's gonna play?
Depends on what proof.
White will probably, well, actually, I don't know, white option here,
Giving
here.
options.
Giving white multiple moves. If white just plays here, what do you do next?
Well, he did fall for my trap, man.
All right. So, I'm going to say professional players don't agree that this is a good time to tanuki. All right, this is not a common move at this point, or at least not the most common move. I like your idea though. It's like really aggressive. And again, if you're assuming that white is just a pushover,
Yeah.
and is this going to respond to everything, maybe you can get away with some moves like this.
Pincer.
Pincer. So high, low, far, close, low. So this should be a move you all look at. You all looked at. This is not the professional level move though. But I think this is a move you can consider. The reason though for why black doesn't like this pincer is not very clear. And so what do you think white's going to do? If black attacks white right now, what is white going to do?
Run.
Jump in the corner.
White is not going to run. White's going to eat the corner. Right, white's like, you know what? You can attack that. That's fine. And how are you going to block?
I think you have to,
In the Gotai way.
In the Gote way?
Yeah.
make a
Gote
wall
way is
facing
this way.
down.
Yeah. And it looks like you're building with the rest of your formation. However, it's already been pointed out this is the Gote way, right? So white's going to play this way. You need to have one more move just to seal white in. And now it's Gote, meaning it's a white move. So what is white going to do?
Be jumping underneath.
All right, just how about this? I mean, you just tried to build this territory, right? Like you actively built a wall. You have a stone here. But white's is actually going to immediately reduce it. Usually we play this way when black has a stone here. And this difference, I mean, this is just one line, but it makes white's job so much more difficult to invade here. Because where do you want to play? This wall is scary. Like if you're saying, oh, we should come in closer this way. Now, first of all, if you approach in the 5th line, black might just take the 4th line. But even if he doesn't, he's going to build much bigger this way, much faster. So when this stone is low, we usually don't like to play this Gote way. So white will just immediately reduce. And we can say, hey, we can get all this territory.
Territory.
Yeah, how do you feel about this territory?
It's so big.
Yeah, this wall is useless. This wall didn't take anything.
And meanwhile, white's building up a wall facing the center.
Yeah. Feels pretty bad for black in this case. So, certainly though, that pincer move is something that you guys should try to read out in your games. Because there are going to be situations where, yes, you want to build a wall there, and you have something over here that works really well. This low Chinese spacing actually doesn't work well with it. So what are the other options?
Isn't the
High away from the white stone?
High away from it, like this?
Yep.
Okay, why not this?
I
Low.
just think you've got support from the low Chinese stones.
Yeah, exactly. You already have a stone over here. It's already low. You want your stones to flow along the edge of the board like waves, like up and down, right? If you have everything high, your opponent can eat you out from underneath. If you have everything too low, you're not taking enough points for yourself. So we have a nice balance here. This is the very agreed upon professional move, by the way. Just play here. So, yeah. Oh, high five denied. But this, even though black is over-concentrated on one side of the board, black is still happy enough, right? Both players are happy enough in this type of game, right? Black is localized to one side of the board, but has a nice formation. White is spread over across a much larger area, but is thinner, right? The game is still in balance. So this is a very, very common type situation for white. One thing that's also interesting that I always like about the Chinese formation is that white actually has the option to deal with this corner by coming here or here. And it usually depends on what else is going on the outside of the board, but sometimes it can just depend on your feelings and mood. Like if you're feeling optimistic that you can build something big, here, you can play here. And let black build, and then you just build something bigger. Like that's like optimism. Or you can say, you know what, I'm feeling really pessimistic today. It's all like, rain clouds and indoor weather, so we're just gonna destroy. Yeah.
Scorched earth.
We'll just try to destroy everything. So you can deal with this corner either way. But, okay? Let's let the comments down there.
So I'm still a ways from 9th over there.
Still a ways. Has anyone gotten two boards correct here?
Do the rest of the board.
No, you don't want to alternate black and white? No? We must have balance. All right, we'll do some white to play moves. All right, so what are your thoughts on this board?
This is white.
Connect underneath to the blackstone,
What?
and then
Oh, attach underneath the black stone. This black stone?
Sorry, that's yeah.
This move?
Yes.
You guys like this one?
I do.
This is the pro move. This is the agreed upon pro move.
2/3.
Nice. So the question is why? What are other options for white? Before we go back to this, we could attack this stone very severely, right? With a pincer like this. Now the problem is if this black stone just runs out. When we pincer, we expect to build something over here, right? We're going to build while making our opponent run out. Our opponent runs, we build. Opponent runs out, we build. What's the problem with that strategy on this board?
You're
Black already has the
corner enclosure.
enclosure.
This stone. How optimistic of a building can we make?
Bunker.
It's already limited, right? It's sort of like black has already said, you know what, this side of the board is smaller than every other side of the board. And so if we're going to attack while building, this default sort of way of looking at the game doesn't quite, it feels sad, right? We're already limited. Our building permit can only go up so high,
Yeah.
So attacking is less exciting. If we had something in this corner too, maybe. Other ideas? What about something like here?
Too low.
Yeah. I guess I'll agree with this.
It's not as urgent.
It's not urgent, I think is the better idea. We're playing two low stones like a non-urgent part of the board. Is this white stone lonely?
It's fine.
It's flexible.
Yeah, sure it's lonely, but only nominally, right? Because there's so much space over here. If black comes over here, hey, we have a friend now.
Yeah.
All right, black comes over
Great
here.
space for friends to be.
Yeah, there's
Small
enough.
band name.
There's friends.
It's like you're all alone,
Like a
but you're in a
social
big
club.
house.
This is like a really popular kid at his old school, but he just moved to a new neighborhood. Doesn't have any friends yet, but he'll get them. He'll be captain of the team and win the prom queen or something. I don't know. Something. He's fine. Okay. So, and there's nothing really particularly pressing going on in this corner or this corner.
What are the common ways for black to punish Tanuki on that corner? If white.
So if white plays here?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if it depends which of these white moves white takes. But black will probably respond up here.
Okay.
Because keeping white out of the corner is actually kind of a big deal. And so white could get time to come back. But if you make an exchange like this isn't necessarily an exchange you want to make. Like you gained this many points, black gained
Twice.
Yeah, so I probably, like, you can't punish this directly, you'd still probably respond in that. But if we assume, right, that at some point black gets to come back here, in this position, I think black just plays here. And you just take the corner territory and just keep white small. Because if black gets these, normally white should get these points, right? Let's say black gets these points now. Black already has points here. Black already has points here. Where are white's points going to come from?
This sounds.
Better come from the middle.
Well, well, look at the stones we've played, right? I mean, we're assuming this is all white territory, but how good do you feel about this territory?
It's too low.
This is 10 points. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, 10 points. And we have one stone in that corner, and maybe we have 5 points over here. So we have 20 points maximum for white. Meanwhile, black plays one remove, boom, we have a 20-point corner. Never mind this and that. So if white spends time over here to just take territory, we can actually take territory that's more valuable over here. So we'll go back and say, yes, this is the most proper move, or at least most agreed upon move. Black will almost always play here. And hey, you guys learned a move today. We don't know how to connect this.
Approach.
Well, that's starting to look like this board over here, huh?
Hey, look at that. This is going to be related. It's starting to look a lot like the next board. Black can ask here. This is very, very common. Now, in very recent years, like the last 2 years, there's actually been other variations on this. I'm still just in the database itself, again, 70,000 games. The vast majority are still playing this move. But we have seen a bunch of people experiment going back to this move at the pro level the last 2 years. But I'm going to pretend that doesn't exist, and we're just going to go on from what's tried and true.
What's Black's other response to the asking move from the low approach?
You mean what's white's other response?
Oh yeah, what's other response rather than just?
So they're very rare.
Oh, okay.
Like the board is so open at this point
Yeah.
that the other responses are very rare. The other responses become more common when there's something else going on the board.
Okay. Okay.
But they're your normal Joseki type things or Tanuki.
Oh, okay. Got it.
White would really like to find a move to cut here.
Uh-huh.
But the problem with cutting here is that, you still need a move.
Yeah.
And this doesn't really, like, black is settled. Even though white gained, like, this is now actually quite big. Black isn't unsettled. It's not like you made a white group in black's, or you made black into a weak group right now. So you still don't really have a good target to attack. So, yeah, you usually just respond.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. All right, another white to play board. What did you guys get for this one? And doesn't this look familiar? You guys see some themes? Hey, what a nice looking move. Joseki, play the Joseki. And then black plays.
Isn't it there?
Very good. And here would be too close. Here would definitely be too far.
Yes.
This is going to get immediately attacked. Actually, white has any of these places to attack. These are all weak points in the shape of black. Oh, there's fine now. So black's just going to keep a little caution to not let white counterattack so easily.
I always thought that was a little bit too far.
This is the pro move.
That is the problem.
The problem is, yes, there are issues in here, and so there's a Joseki. You have to know how to play this Joseki.
Oh, so you have to have pro Joseki.
Yeah, you sort of have to know. You have to know what to do when white plays this way.
So I have to memorize 2 Josekis to play them.
You kind of have to just be really good at reading. The real answer is just practice reading.
I don't want to read.
All right, so the next move for black is here.
Yes.
White actually has 2 options here. I think this is the more common one right now. But anyway, we won't worry about this right now. We'll not make you guys worried about this, and we'll give you a false sense of confidence. So when you go into your games, you'll be thinking, yeah, I did so good, and then your opponent will play here, and then you'll have a fun game.
It's okay, we'll just be playing cube there, so.
Well, for now, what happens when you get better and then you get to play me?
Hopefully, you would be better.
Cry.
You don't cry. All right, back to black to play. Hey, doesn't this this one looks familiar? Does this one look like anything we've done before? No?
Oh, yeah.
It does, I hope it does.
Continuation of,
Hey, look at that. Hey, that was back there. And we responded here, right? Good. White plate here, black plate here, white plate here. What do we do now?
Push the other corner.
Which corner?
lower left.
Lower left, which side? Very good.
It seemed too easy.
Nothing is too easy. It's possible to overthink anything. Yeah, very natural move, right? We have all this more or less safe and settled. We want to expand on it, we'll make it bigger. At the same time, reduce white.
On that game. I suggested that move on that game, but it was too early.
It was too early, yes. Yes, too early. This is a nice move at this point, because everything else is settled. You know, you can get if you play moves out of order, you can have some really fun games. I don't want to dissuade you from playing, you know,
Four moves.
We have fun moves all the time.
yeah, fun moves. Right, there's a famous Japanese professional that we've done a number of lectures on now, Masaki Takamiya. And he's been to the US a few times, and I met him, and he always has one thing he says. He has very limited English skills, but he can say a few phrases. And one he really likes is, play the move you want to play. And so, of course, that's kind of like a super generic bullshit thing to say to a bunch of American aspiring Go players.
Sounds very Japanese.
But he gets away with it. And so I can too. Play the move that you want to play.
Lose the way you want.
And find out why you should.
Yeah.
But you can get exactly what you want.
Right,
At the
right.
same time,
I
that's
keep
also
kicking the
win
camera.
way you want to.
I think the real idea though, right, is if you are committed to a move, right? If you just have to know the answer. I mean, Go is a story. Go is you're still doing like a humanity, right? You're doing this thing that is a personal act of expression. I mean, tell the story that you want to tell, man.
Great Wall Joseki.
Absolutely. All right, next board.
I tried it.
Sorry, Rodney. All right. This one. All right, now this one I expect for some of you to find the right move, and some of you to be horribly misled. I think it's fantastic. So show me ideas. Black to play. 6 moves are out. What do professional players play here?
Pincer.
Pincer.
Fine.
Which pincer?
Mystery
Play it,
slope.
play it.
I don't like it.
All right, so this is like the second most common response.
Close.
It's close. This is not the most common response. It's like, this is playable. Like, this is very natural.
Two spaces.
You already have this territory. You have this power extending this way. It's very natural to want to attack this stone while building something here. Very natural. However, especially today, this is very, very rare.
I think you want to play on the opposite side first.
Show me.
Not sure where. Maybe here? But that seems a bit odd.
That's very odd. We played here. That was easy. It was totally easy. Now the question is, why? Well, I mean, look, we want to build something here, right? Why are we playing over there? This is completely terrible direction.
Does White need to spend another move?
White still needs, White actually doesn't have a base here. And depending on what White does is going to, we're going to play off of. The idea is sort of, let's make sure we're strong and have strength. We'll see what White does, and then we'll take advantage of it. Because right now the stone is very flexible. That's sort of the problem that we have. The stone is a little too flexible for us to profit from attacking it. And we could say, hey, I want to make it heavier. And we could do this sort of thing, but we're not, first of all, not guaranteed White's going to do this. White is probably more likely to do one of these other switch direction things. And second, what do we think of this spacing?
Low.
It's a little too far.
Well, this kind of counts as a high stone, but it's too far. Who said that? Was that Kellen? The spacing is too far. For these big extensions, how many spaces do we like to see?
6.
Really? 5. 5. We like to see 5. Why do we like to see 5 space extensions?
Because 2 plus 2 is 5.
You can't.
Because 2
make
plus
a
2 is
base
5.
easily.
I just watched that Jim Jeffries stand-up about what it takes to be really happy. And it's the secret to being really, really happy is to be really attractive. And of course, that's a problem for him because he's a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. And he knows he's a 5 because, you know, he has all his teeth. They're a little yellow. They're a little crooked, but they're all there. 5. Right? He's got 2 eyes. They do not twinkle. They do not sparkle. But they do face the same direction. 5, right? Okay, so 5. Okay, we want 5 space extensions when we're building these frameworks. The reason, and go, not in what makes you the happiest person in the world, is when white comes in here to invade, what happens to white space?
Sad.
Taken away.
There's really not enough room to make an adequate base in here. Right, there's just not enough space. If we have 6, if white can find a move that attacks this stone or puts pressure on it, and we have to respond over here, how does white's base look now?
Decent.
Yeah, very, very stable almost. Not quite 2 eyes stable yet, but
Black's done slowly too.
it's got potential. So if we have a 5 space extension, it makes white's life difficult. So we like 5. 5 is really big. If we have 4, hey, it's even better than 5, right? What kind of base is white going to get in here?
He's not even going to try.
What?
He's not even going to try. Exactly. He's just going to play on the outside. He's going to say, it's too narrow. I'm not going to
Now
bother.
he's got a base on the other side.
Yeah.
Oops.
So we really like these 5 spaces when building frameworks in Go, okay? If all of you guys learned that today, and you should have already learned that a while ago if you've been attending this class for any length of time. Not 6. Yeah, actually I remember a game that I was playing against, when I was a Q player, playing against a 3-down player in Texas. And he was playing a handicap game, and I just sort of learned this 5-space thing, and he made a 6-space extension. And I went, you did something bad. And he went, yeah, it's handicap. I'm planning on you never invading there and me getting an extra line of territory for free.
Did you invade?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I lost that game, but I remember being close. But who knows? It was a handicap game. Maybe I lost by 100. Who knows? Anyway, we play here. All right, so what's white's going to do? What is white going to play now?
Base.
How?
Extend
Second
down.
line.
You can either ask for the corner and then extend.
Okay. White asks for corner. What does black do now?
Insert.
No. You're wrong twice in this one. You were going to learn much, young Padawan.
Make a 6-space extension.
So,
How about here? Possibly here. This is also good. But this is probably the more modern way. And the idea here is we're going to not let white settle, if we can at all help it. If white really just wants the corner right now, white can just take the corner. But we are quite happy, right? Completely sealing white in, getting all this black wall here. We'd be very happy. So white will more than likely play out the sequence where white gets something on the outside. But guess we're going to be building this whole time. Yes, we're building the direction we want. So after this, we often push again. This is a Joseki that's more recent, but you guys might have seen it by now. Here or here. Both of these. White pushes again, we can actually push up here. And what are we looking like? What's happening?
it's a 5-base extension.
Hey, we're actually starting to build the thing we wanted to build. It actually all worked out nicely. And there are things that white can do to sort of avoid this, but they're very, they're cruder, they're less elegant, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. There are other Josekis. But the core idea here is that if we pincer directly, we're actually not going to get the spacing we want. And so what we do is we say, hey, white, do something, make a base, and then I'll make you inefficient. And I'll use that inefficiency to help me build. High-level Go playing. Okay, you have to have a lot of experience to know these spacing differences and be able to read out these patterns. But again, this is what pros are dealing with. After 6 moves, this is what they're playing. This is the game they're playing. 6 moves into the game.
It's not exactly how that ended, but the prospect of black playing underneath white there maybe think that white should make a base.
Yeah, you should say, hey, white should come this way. Okay, but where are you gonna make the base? You're gonna make it here?
Right there, yeah.
So you're gonna make it there.
then black's
Okay,
gonna-
so now black's gonna do this.
Okay, then white can extend further.
So you're gonna go here?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, this is playable,
Yeah,
but what happened to this corner?
well, black got it, but then white took a honk out of black's side.
And white really needs another stone here.
Yeah.
I'm like white managed to reduce this big black area, but black still has the most territory in the game.
You say that the corner kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, but not, it's not just the corner, we have this influence now too, because
Yeah.
black is now gonna come over here and start building this thing. So it's the corner and the influence. So this is like you can do this, this is positive, like this is a game,
But that's not what a pro does.
but it's probably not what a pro would do.
Yeah, gotcha.
Special strategy. If some of you are wondering, hey, why don't we just do this? And so that way when black kicks us and tries to take the corner, well, this is actually nice spacing for white. However, in this case,
Saving weakness.
this isn't very weak though. Like if black can't really do much in here.
No, but I mean, if you don't kick.
Oh, if you don't kick?
Yeah.
Like if I do what instead?
Just play in there directly.
Yes, very good. Hey, you're back on track. This is exactly what black will do here. Is if white overextends and say, hey, you know, I was really unsatisfied with this base. I didn't want to be attacked, so I didn't, or sealed in, so I didn't want to make this base. I wanted to be I want to spread my wings. Black will say, haha, you are now two different birds.
Just that shit, yeah.
And we'll come out this way, and now we'll fight. And we're fighting in black's neighborhood, right? So black is going to be very happy in this fight.
So Black's
So-
just sitting back and letting white make a mistake.
But it's not a mistake though. It's just,
I guess.
it's a conversation, right? It's sort of like saying, you know, here, white came over here, and black went, that's interesting. Tell me more. And then white said, well, I think Adolf Hitler was a good leader. And black goes, oh, well, I want to say something about that. Let me interject. Right, and then we carry on the conversation. Okay? All right, good.
Your YouTube comments are in a great place.
My YouTube comments have been really lame recently. They've been things like, oh, I love your videos. And or actually there's been some people who've been like finding other moves that work. And those are always nice, but I don't respond to them because they make me look bad. And then the other kind of comment I'm getting are just like, I don't know, I don't know. I should go read the more comments more. I do read them all like as they sort of come in, but I like forget them. Okay. This board.
High quality comments, please. High quality comments.
Yeah, high quality comments only on this video.
If you
all
want
right.
to hate, you have to make it funny.
Sure, well, that's a good rule always. White to play.
We were thinking this one, but it's,
That's a terrible move. That is trash. I like the idea. I like the idea. So what are you trying to do?
kind of build an outer wall, because black has to either respond by...
Okay, so black is response here.
Okay.
What happens? Black just does this again. And if black just comes over here. What do we do?
Tanuki.
Tanuki! Well, we probably have to still play a move in there, right, to complete our ideas, but...
It's coming
It's
down.
squirming for a while.
It's a very squirmy group. I'm not, like, you reduced black's potential,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure what happens next. And I feel like we just gave black a lot of points, and I feel very uneasy.
Oh.
And like if you could do something like this now, maybe, but I think you just get cut. So I think you can either play here or maybe here. But those are both have their own problems. And meanwhile, we're still floating. I'm not sure this is a good idea. And this is of course assuming that black responds this way. What if black responds this way?
Well, you think, Heather?
Oh, what? No,
No, I was just
no,
gonna
you can,
extend.
no, you're kidding.
What if we extend? But this still looks bad.
It still looks bad.
I'd rather do it the other way.
Black has the choice.
Yeah,
I
guess it-
actually,
When on his black cuts, and then
wait, here,
black cuts.
here, yeah.
Okay, so white Ataris,
What? Which way?
Ataris on top.
Here?
No, on top here.
Okay. This is more top than not.
Oh, okay.
All right, we extend.
And then you start building your wall. Yeah,
Wait, you want to build this?
well, something in there, maybe that or something.
But look what we just gave black.
Well, look the other way.
Before black was thin here.
Look on the bright side.
All right. You're all terrible. Other ideas?
Resign.
No.
What if white extends from the
moves.
corner, but closer
Show me.
to white's territory,
Show me a move.
like somewhere around here?
I'm just gonna put something like this.
Maybe not so close. No, not like that.
Show me a move.
Well, now that you played, I don't know, it's not looking so good for white.
Yeah. So later on with this type of formation, this is a mini Chinese, right? It's a formation. We have an invasion point here or possibly here, but this is too early. Right, white's strong here, right? So we have power, we can do whatever we want over here and be okay. I'm not saying you'll win the game, but you can be okay.
About approaching the corner,
So here,
other corner.
which way? Here?
That way, other way, that way.
This way I like a lot. I think, this isn't the most popular move, but I think it's like second most popular move, I believe. Second or third maybe?
So just approach the other side then?
I think this is actually less popular. I think, I'll have to double check.
Because black can pull back and
Yeah.
make something bigger.
Yeah, again, this sort of results in like building versus building. And we don't like to get into that kind of game as white because black's a move ahead. And at some point, our two buildings will need like the same intersection, and black will get that point first. So we usually don't like to do that as white. And that's why this move, I think, is slightly better than this one.
Do you approach the,
No, go back to where it was.
This one or this one?
What we're doing there. Okay, so, is that the way? That's not the way it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
see.
this is the problem.
Well, there was a way it played where you did have mirror image. Yeah, and then white comes out.
Oh, I could play here?
Yeah.
Except this stone is there instead of there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe black.
This is worse spacing for white, actually. This is better spacing.
One's 5, one's 4.
is it approaching the 3-4 somewhere? Like,
Yeah, mini Chinese is always one of them is 5, one of them is 4. Yeah, yeah, and you can also flip it this way. This is called micro. So you have 4 plus 5, or 5 plus 4. So mini micro, that's the difference. Where's the spacing defect or inefficiency?
But it's supposed to be a trap.
It's still a trap, yeah, it's still a trap. It's either way, this is like black's, bear trap over here.
What about the other 4-5 point on the cornerstone in the mini Chinese? Yeah, that one.
This one, this is kind of the trap though. Because black's very happy to already have stones over here to attack you.
Okay, you gotta kind of run diagonally to get all this out.
Yeah. Like you can play here, but it's not the pro move.
is it approaching from the wrong side as white?
Nope, it's here. We're just gonna go to it. It's here. This is actually the most common pro move in this position.
All right, talk about overthinking it.
And part of the reason, right, is because again, black already has this formation over here that we don't really want to jump in yet. Like it's too premature to start invading 4 and 5 space extensions with all this empty space on the board. Over here, we're actually not sure which one we want to do. We would default to favoring this one because, like I said, we want to destroy more than build as white. But doesn't this one just destroy more effectively here? Or more directly? So I think this move and this move is very similar, but this one is just more direct. Maybe, I suspect, over time, we might see this drift to this to become more popular. Because again, they're the same idea, they're the same direction. This is what part of the board we're emphasizing, the corner or the side. I think if you play this game and you play any stone over here, maybe not that one. But I think you're going to have an okay game as white. So this is the hard part of the direction to see, is that black has all the stuff over here. This is uninteresting. White can't really build anything huge. If we do, we're just behind, right, on black. So we want to destroy, so we just need to throw a stone over here. Here's just the simplest, most direct way to do it. And actually, in this position, black could play here. And there's been a lot of games that go like this. Next move for white is normally here. Then black can pull back. And this is actually a very common game position as well.
I have a beginner question. Why is the third line better to play on than the fourth line?
Okay. You need to feel this in your bones. You're all Go players, okay? Third line we play when we want to be defensive, we want to dig in, we want to make eyes. Fourth eyes is when we're ready to come out. It's summertime, we want to party, we want to make a lot of points, we want to attack, we want to fight. This is your opponent's side of the board. Do you want to make a lot of points over here?
No, we want to defend.
Yeah, we want to dig in, right? We don't want to be like, hey, I can make 50 points over here. That's a terrible way to play the game. You're not going to make 50 points over here. You're already surrounded on a large scale, right? We also don't want to just start running if we can help it. We want to be able to make a base. So we want to play third line. Recently, last 5 years or so, we have seen a lot more mixed base configurations in pro games, like this and this. I don't want to talk about those with you. This conversation is over. Okay? But for you, internally, I want you to feel like, hey, we're on the opponent's side of the board. We need to dig in. Notice, right, when we're approaching the corner, we're approaching low. We're digging in. And, you know, over here, if we play this, we can dig in over here and we can be optimistic here. We don't see this. Right? We don't see this really optimistic move next to our opponent and then the digging in move, like where we have support. That's really weird. That's kind of like building your house and then filling it with dirt, I guess.
I love your metaphors.
I try sometimes. Sometimes I don't try, but sometimes I do.
As opposed to filling in the dirt and then building the house?
Well,
It's like building a wall.
it was close to working. We're moving on. It was close to really good.
Filling with houses.
If I, you know, slept on it, I'm sure I can come back tomorrow with something just great. All right, 3 boards left. Yeah. 3 boards left, all white to play. What do you guys think? This is also a very common position. Anyone know the name of this formation? Kobayashi. And what do you guys think to play?
Approach the 4-4.
Approach the 4-4.
Oh,
Which?
no. Yeah.
A 4-4?
Yeah.
So which side?
The right.
So I like the strategy of like, hey, breaking up the opponent, destroying is what we need to do right now at this point in the game for whites.
Oh, that's a 3-4 stone.
This is a 3-4 stone.
So then high approach it.
Over here, over here.
No, there.
Oh, you want this corner? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here, I'll go back to this one. Let's pretend you said here. Like, I like the idea of destroying. However, this is actually not the most important part of the board right now. There's something that can be built much faster and much more concerning. So, we're saying here now. This is a trap. Black will most likely play here, possibly here. And what do you do?
Run into the black stone.
Yeah, the problem is we're going to start having to run, right? But what is black building while we're running?
Territory.
Like very solid territory. And furthermore, we don't have a place to run to because black already has a stone here. So this is kind of what black wants.
So the trick is sort of that, you know, the one stone is low on the 3-4 point, further down the line, the other stone is high on the fourth line.
You're goading your opponent into trying to attack you there from the.
If you play that, yeah. Wait, so what are you suggesting, John?
I'm thinking that that this stone being low is kind of inviting this. But
It is inviting this, but it's
Yeah.
kind of a trap because black also has this.
because it's on the fourth line there to catch you.
Yeah. Isn't that tricky? Very tricky. Hey, like waves, right? And this is like digging in, digging in. Build a house. Okay.
Well, so this board is so similar to the last one, except for that little cornerstone. But is it similar enough to apply the same strategy as before and play right in the middle of the side?
So I would say this is also excellent but flawed reasoning.
Yeah, well.
Because the problem is when black gets a move here,
Yeah,
or even here,
yeah.
this is actually super efficient building.
So.
Black has a pretty solid corner, and isn't this beautiful? Like, don't you just feel the 25 to 30 points you're gonna get here? Like,
So
you just
this-
feel it?
So the difference between this board and the last one was that once you do that, black has a lot more.
Black has immediate follow-ups. The last board looked like this, right?
Yeah.
And so if we split, yes, this is actually a common move.
Yeah.
But black plays here, and now there's no more building, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like he got the corner, and maybe a little bit more here, but we're not building on a grand scale. When it's facing this way, we got the corner over here, and now look at, there's an extra line or two of potential here.
And the black stone's further out.
And the yeah.
On the start point. It's not as close to the enclosure.
Wait.
This one's.
Oh, this one, right, is more efficient. It's 5 spaces from this enclosure. So, problem. We don't like this because even though it does the nice things and it's peaceful, it lets black build too efficiently. We don't like doing this because black will attack us and build efficiently. We don't like doing this because, again, black will just build efficiently.
So why don't we play like just short of where it was before? And well, I was thinking that the idea is that we can push down against this as a power.
Show me a move. Show me a move.
Here.
This one?
Closer. A little more closer. Yeah.
This is still really efficient building. And we don't have a base, right? So we feel like we need to come back here.
So let's go there first.
Yeah.
Well, that's what.
Here's the move.
Well,
Vast majority of games in this situation, this is where white plays. So what is this preventing?
Pincer.
Yeah,
The efficient development.
it's preventing the, so if black plays here, right, we're actually quite happy as white because the corner is much weaker now. Black normally plays here as the next move. It says, hey, you know what? I really like this. I want to develop that. And white goes, that's great. I'm going to eat some of your corner. Like this is the most common variation to come out of this. So white's still getting a base. Black's still building something, but isn't building this and getting the corner. Furthermore, when we play over here, it makes black really hard pressed to try this pincer. Ooh. Because we are close enough to the corner to actually just invade the corner now. And this is possible, like this is a Joseki that's played. However, black's probably not going to get nearly as much development here and possibly lose the corner in the process. There'll be some sort of exchange. If we just take points, that's great too. White can actually just make a base. And now if black wants to keep building this, it sort of has a Gote feeling, where now white will get another move to go and build his own thing. Before, all right, if we put a white stone somewhere over here and we make this, the stone feels a little cramped. It still feels like we need to make a base. And now black doesn't really need to play another move over here. All right, so black can continue harassing us. So again, it's about efficiency. You know, if black just wants this territory, he's going to have to play 2 moves to get it.
So what if black approaches from the other side?
Right now?
Yes, well, maybe not quite that close, that often. But if black comes on this side, he says, well, maybe I won't give this much territory on the bottom, I'll take it out of the corner.
I think, actually, at this point, white just plays here. I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, I'd have to consult the database and see what pros do. But white, this feels okay for white, right? Because we effectively still reduced black sort of in Sente. Sort of. I mean, if black plays another move over here.
Can't really build a whole lot out of the corner.
Yeah, and there's still this invasion, right? White can still play here later. So black still needs a move over here at some point too. Since we're strong, so we're so close and so strong to this that white can not worry too much about invading later. But of course this is go, and at some point black will try to get a bunch of strength here for free. Something like this. And maybe black can develop that, more easily. So when white comes here, now we know white can't connect out that way, and this gets a lot scarier. I don't know. That's future go.
Why is that
Okay.
where the invasion is?
Here?
Yeah, that particular point.
Yeah, so there's several points in here. This is just the first most obvious one I'd look at, because number one, I'm not immediately too close to anything. If I'm assuming, let's just assume that all these stones are here
Okay.
for now. This is where black's really strong.
Yeah.
I don't want to play too close to this. So anything closer is like, just forget about it.
Okay, but you're saying that even before that.
Well, if black has this, I'd probably invade here, actually.
Okay, but even before we played out this sequence.
Yeah, so if we take all these stones off, here, let's do all this. I still like this point, because if black tries to cover us, we just go underneath and live better here. If black kicks us, like so, we can jump out, we can stand out, we can do something. We can even do one of these fancy things. Fancy things are cool. And we're not too close to black's other strength, right? I'm not in danger of being surrounded here, because these two stones are too far away. So I'm poking at black's weaker side and trying to give myself at least two ways to go. I can go out or I can go under. If I play closer here, this is actually not as clear. Let's say black covers and then I try to go under. How far can I go? I mean, if I go here, I'm getting very crushed. This is I'm just looking for like knight's moves especially. These are very common ways to approach an invasion. Okay, all right, 2 more boards, and then you can stop pretending to pay attention. You guys see the thickness of this board, this Shinkaya board here?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Anyone, is that a 3-inch board? I know, it's too close to the camera. My whole thing is... All right, white to play. Anyone look at this one? You guys have time to come back here? Kellen, you have an idea?
So, yeah, we were looking at it, and our first instinct was to do something against the stone. So,
And then you looked at it skeptically.
yeah, we didn't. This
talked about it with
this looked
someone
less
else.
good because then black is still getting something, and the thickness wouldn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, thickness isn't very interesting right now. So yeah, we have this situation in that corner, though, you're right, where we have this imbalance. We have white 2 stones, black has 1 stone, it's white's move. It feels like we should punish black somehow. However, it's totally not clear how. Do you guys understand what he was saying? Like, if white ends up with a wall this way, how far can white build this? Well, it's limited by this stone. So we'd really like to be able to go like all the way to here. He just builds, but black's not going to stand for that.
Another stone on while your opponent isn't looking. Putting another stone in that corner while your opponent isn't looking.
Right, exactly. We need to do one of those things. So maybe we can only go this far, but if we go this far, black's already strong there, which means black can just sort of reduce or invade, and we don't have any momentum behind this wall building thing. Furthermore, if we try this, you guys might know this, but this is also the Joseki, and we can basically give up this stone and just build something here for black. And so this stone, this is kind of in balance, even though it's 2 against 1. Black's actually kind of flexible. It's hard to attack. Now if white gets 2 more moves, yeah, this looks really nice for white. But this part of the board is actually kind of paused. It's kind of like we need an asking move. Because we don't really know, should we try to attack it directly? This maybe even is an option. Just take the corner points. Should we come on top? We don't know what we need to do to this stone. Because whatever way we go, black's going to go the other way. So we need an asking move. We need to define the shape.
Approach the 3-4.
Hey, what a beautiful move. This is where vast majority of professionals play at this point. You get this one?
It's just like
I might have been up by 1, but I
But this is the idea. This is actually kind of a strange move. When I was looking at the games database, this is one that caught me off surprise too. I was like, oh, they play there right now. Oh, that's neat. So I thought both of the problems on this board I thought were more novel than the other boards. I thought were more solvable? Yeah, orthodox. Well, this is solvable too, but
Why didn't you give us easy ones?
I'm just giving you statistics. I'm just going through the database looking for common positions.
Fundamentals.
Yeah. But in this case, right, if, let's say black plays the common move here, right, and just pulls back, oops. Let's say we play this one, I think, in this case. Black plays here. Hey, now we know we can play here. And we have this, we've built this while attacking this stone, right? This stone does two things. Makes points, makes a base, and attacks that stone. So we know to play that way. And of course, if black does something different, we'll alter our plan accordingly. But we want to know what's going to happen down here before we decide what's more efficient.
Do you know what white's previous move was before the approach? Because I was thinking it was the 5-4.
You mean, well, it's black's move, right? So it'd be,
Right, I mean, so I was thinking black's previous move was to enclose
yeah,
the corner.
So before this point in the game, I think this is the...
Right, so I was thinking that even before that, black approached white, and white did
responded.
5-4, and then black went over there. So I figure white has a Joseki in mind if black continues the attack, so it's time to do something else, like approach the other corner.
But at the same time, so there's a rule in the opening. If you have, and this is from Yulin Yang, and it's hard for me to say this without a really terrible fake Chinese accent, which with my apologies to our Chinese viewers, because it's such a good lesson. I try really hard. 1 against 1 is okay. 2 against the 1, no tanuki. Right, so 2 against 1, both players need to play here, right? Because that's not a fair fight. 3 against the 1, always tanuki, right? Give up. All right, so if I have 3 stones here, black should just go away. And over this case is different because black actually has ways to.
So I guess then why would black have played the previous move to enclose that corner? Why would black have played the previous move to enclose
So in the game flow, this is the game.
Right.
Right, black plays, white plays. These 2 stones actually want to naturally build this, right, this side of the board. And right now on this board, if you actually look at it, this is 10 spaces. This is 10 spaces, 10 spaces, 10 spaces. Every side of the board is equal, but there's only one side of the board where I think white can build high, or either player can build high, like optimistic kind of building. And so this feels biggest. And so this move for black is actually, this is very natural, like you should expect this. White's strong over here, that means white wants to build this way. And so black defends, and then we have to find a move over here. And in this case, we don't know which move to play, so we have to ask another corner. Conversation. Okay, last board. All right. This is going to bring it all home. White to play. What are your ideas?
Something, that corner.
Something, that corner.
Yeah.
Like what? Show me a point.
I don't know.
Play a move.
Something in there.
This one.
That's pedantic. I mean, it's reasonable. Very reasonable. I don't mind it.
Only on the follow-up, we'll just assume black defends the corner maybe, and then white makes a base.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Not what the pros play. But if you play this, you're fine. Like, I think you can play this just fine. Because what you really don't want to have, you really don't want too much pressure to come on this stone. But at the same time, look at the board. What sequence of moves do you think happened in this game? Like, how do you think this game went?
White probably approached corner. Black probably moved over to ask the question, where does white want to go?
No, here, I'm gonna play this game out for you.
All right.
All right, so we'll put it in context and feeling. So black played here. White played here. Black played here.
And then white might have approached.
White played here. Black played here. White plays here. Black plays here. So who's winning this game?
Black.
It feels a little bit like black. Why?
Black has 33% more stones on the board.
Okay. Well, but I mean, what has been the story of the game? Who got the corners?
Black.
Black got 3 of the corners, or at least first play in the corner. And so at some point, we need to take initiative as white. We need to be able to be the first person to make the second move in the corner.
Actually, black has 14% more stones on the board.
From the total number of stones.
Yes.
Yeah. But he was comparing it to white, so to white only. So white needs to find a way.
The low approach on the 3-3 towards white's other stone.
Low approach on 3-3.
I think he means.
Oh, third line.
Yeah, the low approach attacking the 4-4. Sorry, believe I spoke. But you know what I meant anyway. Good job.
All right. So what if black just backs off here? Now the problem that you've just gotten yourself into is we have a corner over here with 2 players, 1 stone. That's in balance. That's okay. Whoever plays next will get the initiative, but both players are okay. But now we have 1 corner with 1 white stone and 2 black stones. And we have another corner with 1 white stone and 2 black stones. How do you feel about this? You should feel bad. Okay?
We're searching
Black
our
is
feelings.
Do you remember 2 against the wand? Must play. You have 2 against the wands. Right, you must play in both of those at the same time.
And, it is your move.
Same time.
You can't. You only get 1 move. So we're not sure we actually want to start this other trouble yet.
Isn't the most common attack that?
So start the Taisha? Yeah. The most complicated Joseki in the history of Go.
Sounds fine.
I don't object to this. I think this is okay. Like I think if you were a stronger player playing against a weaker player,
Feels like.
I think this is great.
Since you already have a stone to run to on both sides.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable. It's not what pros play though.
What if you went a little lower?
Like here? I like this idea. That's not the right move, but the idea I think you guys should be looking for on this board. Is there a move where we can sort of help this stone, but also sort of respond in this corner, right? Actually like take initiative in this corner to get 2 stones
Pull back
advantage,
to the
but also help this stone. And this is why, I think Taisha kind of does that, but it also is Taisha, and
It's fair.
there's maybe better spacing we can do.
It's 5 spaces away from that white stone.
5 spaces away from this stone, so is that 5? Correct. This is where pros play.
Applying the knowledge I've learned here today.
See, you got to immediately just go play Go and apply all this knowledge. You'll be 9-dan pro.
5 spaces.
Actually, this pro database isn't only 9-dan pros, right? It's all professional players. So you'll be only 1-dan pro.
At least.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, still pretty good. But yeah, this is where pro players play in this situation. Because number 1, and I know this is very far away, but it's still kind of like a 2 against the wand, right? Apologies to my Chinese viewers.
Disclaimer going across the bottom.
Yulin Yang is so good though, and if you guys ever see him teach or go to US Go Con or see these teachers, like so many of them have like such distinctive voices. And Yulin Yang, he's got this, he's an older Chinese gentleman. He's got this sort of high pitched risingness to his voice. It just makes it so memorable. It just makes those lessons just sink right in when he's yelling at you.
What good does that do to that stone?
Yeah, what good does this do to this stone? Well, what's the spacing here?
5.
What do we know about 5 space extensions?
Not as
Knowing
good
to
as
invade.
It's hard for black to attack you. Because when black attacks you, how does black make a base in here now?
You've become the hunted.
Well, it's a fight. I'm not saying, it's black has a move, black can get out too, but it's not like black can settle the situation clearly either. It's like, we're just making this into a fair fight. And so, yeah, so we're trying to get 2 uses out of the stone, right? Put pressure over here and have some effect on helping that stone. And, if black, I don't know, does whatever,
That's my little brother's move.
right? This move for white is actually quite nice, because this completely seals in the corner now. And we have this giant Bermuda Triangle starting to form here, right, where all of our stones are working together. So black really needs a move in the corner. And so once we do this, then we can come back and decide how to help the situation next. Okay? So, did you guys learn some things?
You did?
One of you learned some things? Good.
Which was the 99%?
The one that was
Continue
Joseki,
the
the one that
Joseki.
John's picking up over there, yeah, that was like 99%, just finish the Joseki. A few of them, I think there were one or two that were only like 52, 55%, but most of them were like 60, 70, were the majority of them, types of moves. So anyway, if nothing else, at least hopefully this is what like professional games look like. When you're reading through a pro game or even seeing it in your own game, like these positions should not surprise you. This is kind of like how Go works. So building familiarity is always helpful. Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.